Hola, buenos dias, everyone. All communication cycles in rotation centers are sending everything through the moonbeam. We have a moonbeam, a moon base, a moon location, and everything through division panels. Understand what the moon is. It's the most powerful communication cycle when it comes to our behavioral systems. Truly understanding everything that connects to the moon. So we're going to go through cycle rotations of interforcing lines and wire location positions, interacting two locations, the attraction locations to your body framing system. It's going to go through wind cycling systems, behavioral systems. Your commander is going through so many levels of reactions. The brain simulator is changing patterns of defense and is going up to higher levels into the moonbeam. Like I said, it's a moon ring. It has so many behaviors. The connections is so powerful when it comes into the interfacing system of the sun and its radiation cycles. And everything through the practical levels, it comes into all connections. The sun is servicing to all levels. It changes everything through nature, through radiation, light. Everything through the moon changes everything through behavior of its system. So you put those two together and you have a growing system of nature. Right? So this is what happens when you come into the equinox, a new vibration, a new position to ground formation system, and a new Earth rotation center. So before we get started, thank you very much for subscribing to my channels. I keep you grand rising, force rising, everything you need to know, especially through your body activation light system. I set up a video I did 3 or 4 months ago about everything that goes on with the dark resistance, light of its code resistance, everything through your position of your behavioral system. Truly understanding that you have to know what everything is connection to dark and how it's related to your behavioral system. Protecting your lights at all times when you don't want to confuse the mind and everything through its thoughts of travel. So I think it's about 3 minutes, and it gives you a better understanding when you travel to make sure that you're in positions of the right locations into the gravities, the powers, and the atmospheres. Because if you travel the wrong positions, your thoughts are not connecting to light interference. It's connecting to dark realms. Because there's dark wherever you go. You can't get rid of that, but you have to know how to balance that. And that's all connected to the behavioral system. Understand the communications of the Earth, understand the communication and behavioral systems of the moon and its program setting. It changes tractions to coloration systems every single day, 24/7, 7 days a week. Okay, now the sun and everything the moon doesn't live 7 days a week. It doesn't live 24 hours a day. Okay, so truly understanding, whoa, what do you mean by that? So it's getting into the point how everything through travel is this recognition of time. It connects to all levels of clocks and its dimension. That's truly understanding what's going on through that connection and putting everything back into position, right? Because everything's coming into the fifth dimensional system. But other than that, I just finished doing the second episode of Space Discoveries 2. It's going to be really fascinating. So I'm just getting ready to do the audio and get the scripture all ready to go. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be really amazing. It's more about adaptations of the Earth, what's going on in the fifth dimensional system, what's going on with the digital frame, what's going on with your body activations of astral travels, truly understanding your connection to everything through formation. Okay, and these things will help you out more when you come into your thoughts. Your thoughts are the most important thing. We did a very powerful video yesterday where it's connecting to the mind system. So your behavioral system has to understand everything through its action and its reactions, because it has its action and it has its reaction. Okay, so it's all about resurfacing, realigning, and reevaluating yourself every time you go through your dreams and that connection system. Okay, so because it all connects, and I'm going through so many conflictions right now, emotional sets of triangle positions. Now I set up a YouTube platform. You're probably saying, no, where's the moon, Commander? And I said, well, basically putting yourself in position what the moon is. It's everything through triangle position. Okay, it has its light and has its dark reference, but understand the behavioral system and everything through its rainbow activation system. It's knowing that the motivation cycle is going through its center position, right? So right now the moon is in its Arctic front. It's in an oceanics of its changing motion system. Everything's calculated and modified through its integration cycles. So understanding the content level, Okay, so you have the Earth and everything, the shape of the Earth, and what's happening through the connections of the moon program, and everything through the connection of the sun rotation as we're coming into Piscean air. Okay, so it's understanding we're going into more and more of behavioral. So if you're going through reactions, you can go through my healing. I can help you and guide you and put you back in balance. This is going to be extremely, extremely powerful energy. It's incredible to know from your commander what goes on in space, because a lot of people don't understand. You know, you live in a body system, but you have to understand it's activated through space and time. So the clocking and everything through dimensions sets its vortex positions to its shapes. But you are so connected through your dreams. You're so connected to your body, your frame. You're so connected to all travels, astral projecting, or anything through levitation, or anything of your knowings and doings, and everything through intelligence. It's forming yourself to understand the behavioral system to the modifications, all right, to the moon. Okay. So when you get emotional, okay, you go through so many reactions. Sometimes you're crying, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're angry, sometimes you're frustrated. It all depends, right? So it's conflicting emotions. It's interlining, it's interconnecting, and it's confusing all your program settings. So if you're getting confused, you can go through my healing and then upgrade your cycles and put you back in position. So it's understanding the attractions of what's going on with the moon, because the sun and its rotation cycle has to be in its set position of 12. Okay. So as the sun's going around and it's reaching its cycle through its rotation system, the triangle position of the sun and the triangle position of the moon have to come together. That's where it comes into the Piscean air. Okay. Whoa, powerful, isn't it? So it's understanding your pyramid system has to understand its activation of its behavioral system, because your commander has been going through so many emotions lately. You know, some days I'm happy, some days I'm sad, some days I'm angry, sometimes I'm frustrated, sometimes I'm crying. I don't even realize it. So if you're not realizing what's happening and you don't feel like you're crying, but you're drawing tears, is that the program of the moon is changing its position. Okay, it's changing its environment, it's changing its onyx, it's changing its cold fronts, it's changing its hot fronts, it's changing everything through infusion. Okay, it goes on so many polarized or anything through gateways. So remember, I shut the gateways, right, through connection to the three-dimensional system. The realm connections and the wormholes are no longer in the Earth system of the physical realm. Now, what's happening? The fifth dimensional system is opening up everything through connection. All right, so we're coming into more of behavioral changes. So when you come into more behavioral changes, you get out of that cycle, you get out of that seed pod, and you become more mature, and you become more wise, and you get into the knowledge of its intelligence. So you get a little bit more informative how to communicate with the sun, how to communicate with the moon. Okay, like I said, we have a yellow sun, okay, and we have the Earth. But you understand we also have a solar system. Okay, so how does the solar system operate? How do I understand its rotation? Okay, what's going on with the sun today? What's going on with the moon of its behavioral system? It's given to us inside. Okay, because it's everything that's inside you. So it's all the compartments and components. You know, go into the infusion. You go into the intrusions. You go into the travels. You go into the convulsions, you go into motions, to emotions, to behavioral system, you go into the triangle positions. That's what I'm saying. The triangle position is understanding the sun rotation and its clocking of its system. So this is kind of like coming into the Big Bang Theory, except you understand the birthing of the sun and the birthing of the moon is going to come into the Piscean air. So the two triangles have to come together like this, right? So it suffers on so many radiation cycles of its system. Okay, so you have the sun here and you have the moon here, right? It's in the triangle base. So as it comes together, right, it's like a solar eclipse, right? You can't look at it because you go blind. So it's the same retrospect what's going on with laser connections, right? The radiation of the sun and its geometry set location position and everything through the moon beam and its moon base, okay, to its connection. So as they come into formation, we'll come into the Piscean air. Okay, so that's a new revelation, and that's what the equinox is. It's how to put, you know, higher communication levels of colorations of the sun and higher communication levels of behavioral systems to the moon. Okay, really powerful, powerful. Dina, how's it going? Yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is, Tina. It's a solar flash, right? And it goes into the conception of your transmission light system and opens up everything through triangle positions. So getting into that connection, I'll draw it out through illustration. So if you understand that you're connected to the moon through behavior, you understand you're also connected to the chart recognition lights to the sun, because the moon has a chart and the sun has a chart. It's all connected to your chart. Okay, when it comes into the astrologics, okay, it comes into your holographic system, okay, to your motivation systems of travel positions and everything through your physical realm location, which is your fifth dimensional system of its earth rotation, which is its balance position, its gravity, and its power in its atmosphere system. Okay, so understanding how to use the energetic of the epigenetic biochemical system, the follicles, molecules, structure level systems, protons, neutrons, electrons, gametons, everything through neutrons or anything through nucleus or anything through that connection. So you're understanding your graphing system, okay, of the birthing system of the sun and the birthing system of the moon and the birthing system of the earth. You put that all together, okay, you come into the connections of the Piscean air. So you get two triangles in position, okay, of the sun and everything through the moon, right? And then you have everything through the earth, right? So it kind of looks like this, the connection. Okay. So when you get in position, trying to really understand all communication cycles. So in position, it's complicated stuff because everything in the geometry set system is allocated to its position. Okay, so it's really confusing to the mind system. So it allocates positions like this. Okay, see how a solar flares, like Tina was saying, a solar flash. So every time I draw it out, you can see solar flash. Right, so this is all the connection right now. So this is understanding how it comes out of the Aquarius, how to change rotations of the nature, and how it gets connected to coloration. It's going to go confusing to the mind system. My team might understand this through program assistance, but the triangle location, the singular line location, the simulation is understanding how to put all these three triangles into position of one signal, one location, one activation, one correlation to an atom, to its molecular structure, which puts everybody into the equinox of a new revelation. Okay, but these are all the connections. Okay, see the connections of the sun, connections of the moon, and connections to the earth. So it's understanding how to put all three in together, right? So that puts you in the Piscean air. All right. So when you get into that position, it's all about understanding how to move the triangle positions to clocking of time positions. And it gets extremely complicated. So we have the sun and rotation system, the clocking measurement systems. Okay, you got 12, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, the communication of the sun. All right. Now the central system, we got connections to the moon. Okay. And again, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why it's so confusing to humanity, because their mind is escaping on so many levels of divisions. So it's complicated stuff, what's going on through calculation. And everything through the earth centers its position, right? It's in modification cycle. So go on a different coloration system here to its practice system. Okay, so now we get the earth rotation. And we go 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's all about line signaling to one line communication, right? Once it goes into traction location of shapes and anomalies, now you're coming into higher division through allocated positions. All right, so you got three clocking, different time zone systems. Remember, they don't live 7 days a week. They don't live 24 hours a day. All they do is rotate through clocks. That's all it is. So it's understanding the dimensions of the sun, understanding the dimensions of the moon, and understanding the dimensions of the earth, where it is. So this is in position right now. So it's understanding how to put all triangles into one position of one location, right? So we want to do this every time it goes through its cycle, through its digital frame, and everything's calculated and modified when it comes into Vega communication. So it's all about understanding how to put all connections of all levels to positions of Piscean air connection. Okay, like this. Okay, so once that comes in position, we come in a realm location to its location. Okay, and we come into a new clock into coloration. Okay, of activation. That's where it comes into the equinox. It's really powerful, guys. So, just thinking, how does Commander know all this? Well, I understand my travels. So, this is the equinox, and this is the Piscean air. Okay, so once that happens, I'll do it day by day, and I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen after that through that position. It's true they understand it doesn't come out of its equation yet. It's got to come into a new yin and yang through the light system, through your activation to fifth dimensional system. So these triangle position level systems, once the sun and the moon and everything through there is in the new clocking of its equinox through its rainbow activation system, we can put all humanity into the telepathy of teleportation through communication. Okay. So, yep. You guys have any questions or comments, please feel free. But right now, everything through the clocking of its dimensions are in this position right now. Okay, so this is truly understanding the sun, where it is through its rotation. It surfaces, everything is holographic through line communication. So you got 3 chain level systems of 3 circle rotation centers that connect to 2 triangle point divisions. Okay, so it's understanding the travels of the sun. It's understanding the behaviors of the moon. And it's understanding everything through the rotation and the behavioral system to its connection of humanity to its telepathy. All right. So you got the radiation of the sun, you got the moon of its behavioral system, and everything through humanity into the telepathy. So you put that all together, you come into a new formation of a new equinox in the fifth dimensional system. Okay. So, but that's the position it's at right now. You really have to get into those positions, really get into yourself more. And like I said, you're going to go through a lot of behavioral changes because everything right now isn't confusing through circle rotation of time. So you're going to have upsetting motions, you're going to have wire confusing line signals, you're going to have up location positions of dream set positions. Your framing location is going to be off through traction. Your traveling recognition systems are going to be on so many levels of travels of, deharmonizing to harmonizing. So it's going to go back and forth through wire locations. Your body conceptual system is going to go out through traction. Your colorations are going to wind spin through activation light systems. So your lights are going to go off. And your wires are going to be all confused line signals because everything through the sun, everything through the moon, and everything through the earth is in a change rotation, circle rotation into different dimensional realms. Okay, so they all have to get in position. Okay, so that's everything through connection. That's how we come into the equinox of a new revelation at fifth dimension. Okay, so, and like I said, you take the earth out of the plasma, now everything to the digital frame has to come in positions. And Space Discoveries 2, in episode 1, I talk about that a little bit more. It's all about where we're coming from, from our bodies, because our bodies are very important, because our bodies connect in so many cycles. You have to understand you're connected to the geometry of travel. You're connected to the geographic of your perceptions through GPS. You have to understand your travels of yourself because it's all connected to your thoughts of recognition. And that back phrasing video, to its framing system, will give you everything through its connection. Because every time you interface locations and you walk outside, your behavioral changes with its nature. It changes with the gravity. It changes with all power connections of you within communication. So if somebody comes across the energy fields and actually walks in, right, they're going to connect right away to your behavioral system, right? Because everything through traction positions of the sun and the moon and everything through the earth is changing a new position. So you have to understand all the connections, what's going on with the earth and the continents and everything through the oceanics, all positions of that level system, because those time zones of its connection of the sun and the moon and earth have to come into one line signal. to one alignment. That puts it into the Piscean air. Okay. So once we get into the Piscean air, now we're balancing everything out through yin and yang, and we come into a new life system. Okay. All right. So we go into the connections of the north, and we go into the connection of the south, we go into the east, and we go into the new west of ourselves through travel. And we go into stronger positions into our thoughts. Okay. And less hesitation, like Dana was saying. Okay. I think it's powerful when we come into more of ourself, right? And it's also great too that, you know, your commander gives you everything you need to know about space and time, right? And the thing is too, when you can't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. So it's going beyond the mind system, like I said, right? So understand the triangles of connection, understanding everything through practical levels. Okay, so you can have triangles like this. You know, you can have triangles going around. So it's truly understanding what's going on with the connections, the radiation cycles. So you create everything through connections. Everything that you see is travel through position, right? And then you just take it out of its equation. When it's ready to take it out of its equation, it's in its right clocking time position. So it connects in all waves and cycles to its position. And then you color it in through traction. It comes into the matrix positions. So once you color it in, right, you're coming into a new thought recognition light system to your travel positions. Okay. So you can come into one communication, to one line signal, to one activation light, to a program system of a computer operation line system. You got 3 triangle positions. Okay, one's in the low front, high front, okay, and everything through its connection is side forcing to its level system. It's allocated to its positions, right? And then you get the little triangles. They're in different coloration patterns. Because everything in the universe is nothing but vibration, guys. We already know that, right? But I think people want to know what space is and how it's put in positions, how we come into the geometry system of ourself. So it's putting everything in position, how it comes into formation, right? So once we calculate and modify that, we can change our triangle locations. So it's all about changing your behavioral system into thoughts, into positive centers. Okay. So you don't put yourself in dark positions of yourself, right? Because you create your own black holes. Okay. That's amazing. Because you think, wait a minute, you're telling me, Commander, I can create a black hole? I said, yes, you can. Because you have space inside you and you have time of its capacitor. So space inside, okay, is allowing you to see yourself, what you're doing through travel of your thoughts, okay? Time of travel is giving you everything you need to know through your clocking, right? So like I said, when you're communicating to higher force line systems, to projections or anything singularity or anything through simulation, you're grabbing positions, okay, to the astronomy, okay, the astrologics or anything, or all those connections when it comes into the cosmos. Cosmos is a big one. So when you get into those, oh my gosh. So it's understanding the operations of you first before you understand the operations of the universe. Okay? Because everything that you create is formed through vibration. You can create anything through your thought, and it becomes extremely real to the mind. Okay? And everything you put all together comes its creative center to its position of its reality, to its connection of you to your journey, because it's all about bringing yourself forward. So the more you understand that you are connected to space in all ways and forms of shapes, letters, and numbers, it's knowing everything that's going on with your ears of audio defense. These are planet positions of communication of numbers, guys. If your eyes are flickering like this, okay, you understand interforce connections, the line system of vibration to everything you interact with, forward, backward, sideways, okay, or interlocking connections to those positions, okay? The mind, if you get headaches, okay, you understand the disruption signals when it comes into your tapping locations to your communication and everything that's going on with your program setting. So If you don't understand your information and you're connected to your higher self, your avatar, you're going to get cycle rotations of wind spins of headaches. Okay, because the XT1000s come in and they scan you. So it's understanding your scanning operations. Okay, so we have to put ourselves, why do we get headaches? Okay, and what do? We take a medical drug, we take an aspirin, right? But you have to understand everything has mutation. Okay, and sometimes it causes chaos. And this is where comes into the connections of the thoughts of the placebo. Okay, so whatever you create, you can destroy through your thoughts of wires. So put yourself in that position, okay? Any can go through its mutation, right? And it's all about using your own compliance, how to go into your own healing of your thoughts. Okay, so I'm not going to put myself in that position. The wire signals and its activation line system is going through information cycles. Okay, the inflammation is going through its center position. Okay, and it's creating a new anomaly to a box frequency level system. Now, when I communicate, I'm communicating to planets. These are understanding the communication of numbers in the audio signals, or anything you see through perception in your car. Oh, 4444, what does that mean? 2222, or anything through a view, or anything through views on your YouTube channel. You got 1111. Well, that's a portal. So you understand the communications of 1111. Okay, the one line signal, one line division, the one position of its location. That's a portal. But where's it coming from? Everything comes from a planet. It's trying to communicate with you, to your intelligence, not your physical system. So the Galactic School provides you with that through all connections, how to use your travels of dimensions. Okay, and then you start recognizing more of yourself with space. So my Rebellion Alliance Force team is coming into those connections, into 10 now. Not now, but I'm just saying I always go forward. I have no filter. So everything I give you is presence, and they put it in its future. So putting yourself in alignment of past, present, and future is balancing everything out through one line signal, right? So all those levels, once you come into your formation of yourself, okay, the lives that you live in the past, present, and future, put that in one line signal. Okay, and that's one line of one answering pattern through one question. And that one question becomes everything through its recognition of so many planets. So your line communicating everything through that position. Okay, so when you come into this through triangles, you have to understand how to take everything out of this equation, right? So your thoughts are recognizing higher forces of you through connection, right? Comes out. Okay. So basically you can set up anything, you can create anything. And that's the most powerful thing, is that once you understand the illustrations of yourself, you understand more of yourself as a child. Your heart starts to recognize you as a child and no longer adult. I say, wait a minute, that's confusing. So you understand the universe and everything through its connection, okay, is everything through your emotions of motion, of travel through your behavioral system. Okay, and once you understand your wire signals, once you understand the operations of the universe, now you're connecting to the framing of its inner system, which is the space inside you through its position. And then you understand the time of its travel of its position, and then you understand everything through its clocking, okay, to its location, sun, moon, the earth, and everything in the center position, right? So it's all about getting everything into line communication in one center, to its equinox position, to a rainbow of a new activation of telepathy system. All right. So if you have any questions or comments, if you guys are going through conflictions, emotion tractions, or anything through that, or going through body frames, or if you're going through headaches, you can go through my healing. I could set you guys up through that. Everything that I do is everything through connections of me through space. So you have to understand that space is not everything to you. Okay, it's everything for you. And what that means is understanding you are the surrender to everything inside you. So really get into those optical levels. You have to surrender. Imagine closing your eyes. Just close your eyes for a second. Okay. Now, when I close my eyes right away, okay, I'm on the other side. Okay, I'm on the spiritual realm. I'm already in space. Okay, but I know I'm on the earth. Okay, I'm talking on the earth, but I'm traveling instantly. Okay, so I'm never ever in one position. I'm always linked line signaling to one location to all planet positions. That's how you become extremely powerful through knowledge of intelligence. So I go back thousands and thousands and million and zillion and trillion of years, okay, to its position to understand that through connections. So I'm getting waving cycles of dimensions that's surfacing right now. I'm going through realm connections and I'm going through different planet locations. Okay, the dot location position to its documentation line system to triangular positions. Now I'm on a planet position, okay, of 1,000,000 years. I say, wait a minute, 1,000,000 years? What is that? Well, you have to understand the other side of the universe because it goes on so many different universal systems, simulation core systems that's connected to all line communication. So it's incredible force. I close my eyes for almost 5 minutes, but I see everything on the other side. So it's kind of like you're jumping. It's like you're jumping into the water for the very first time. You're jumping into a big ocean for the very first time because you've been living the existence in a small pond and then you become across a big ocean, right? So you're stepping the waters, getting out of your relation to its pond and you're coming into a big ocean. So you're dipping in, right? So you got to dip in and then dive in, right? So when you go to the other side, your eyes are open and you see everything. See the solar flare? See how it changes? Now I'm setting up diamond core positions. Go from here to here. Okay, and the illumination light system, understanding triangular positions, all communication cycles to its position. So it's trying to understand how to communicate with everything through its interforce connection. See that? See how it changes? It forms in cycles, rotations. An interforce connection line system, you got triangle location positions, okay? Now, interforce is lines on one side and interforce is on the other side. So it goes on communication graph locations. I push it aside. It has lacing line locations. I change the wire locations. I change the activation code systems. I radio division location to its activation light system, okay? And I set new programs and take it out of its equation. So I'm centering the positions of the Earth rotation to the center position of its core system. That changes everything through its position into the universal of its traction location. So, wow, spring equinox, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you, Angel Fest. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So, really get into yourself, what your body's doing. How important is it for you to live? Let's look at that. How important is it for you to live? You want to live the life to its fullest, right? And use that through your thoughts. You want to manifest this, you want to manifest that, right? You can't get it on YouTube. You have to get it from somebody that knows the truth of space and time. Okay, because there's a lot of self-identities that are just gaining gain for themselves, commercial gain, right? You do this, you'll get this, right? You'll see practicals on YouTube and you'll see money here and you see money here. Hey, you can manifest this, you can manifest this. The person has a big mansion. You understand there's two sides of a coin, right? So how did they get into that position? How did they get into that involvement? Now, there's a lot of truth, but there's also a lot of scam, especially now. YouTube is surfacing more and more into dark, and that's why my team, I want to get into calculation. You're going through more behavioral system. So it's allocating your positions of your thought recognition lights. You don't want to get confused. So because you're a high fruition of light and you're into GOD, the geometrics of operations of its dimensions, you got to understand more connections of yourself through behavioral system, because it's going to try to get into the trickery. It's going to try to fool you. It's going to try to put higher positions and dark energy systems into your brain location. This is all connected to you through your system. You have light and dark interference. You have light programs and you have dark programs. So put yourself in position of thought. Put yourself back in center. Okay, so it's understanding your communication line signals. So when your commander communicates through anything, I communicate through one program to everything through programs. That's, you have to understand. So let's say you get 40,000 chairs. You pick one particular chair. Okay, you got one chair. Okay, you put an energy rotation center to its position. Okay, you line signal it. Okay, and you connect it to all 40,000 chairs, right? That's one communication. That's one thought, guys. That's what space and time is. So it goes on so many positions, but it goes in one position of one line. It doesn't go, oh, this chair is over here. Oh, this chair is over here. Oh, this chair is over here. It's all communicating through one line signal. So it's getting one operation of a star light. It's on one operation of a square, rectangle, or anything through a circle. Understanding its rotation system to its calculation. Right? So as the equinox does the same thing through its position of its sun rotation, everything through its moon programs and everything behavioral system to its earth of its fifth dimensional system. So understanding what's going on with this connection, how to get all this into the equinox. How, right? So you have to understand the radiation of the sun and its dimensions. You have to understand the moon program setting, behavioral system, and you have to understand the earth. The earth is getting into its connection of telepathy, better communication alignments of humanity. Okay, getting into factoring levels of fractions to your position of the geometry set locations. Okay, so once you get into that position, you come into the equinox, all communications, right? The earth, sun, the moon, a new radiation cycle through rotation, a new dimensional clocking of a recognition light system, okay? So that's a true understanding. You have to understand why the earth comes first, because humanity lives on it, right? That's purpose. That's true to understand. So everything has to be in position. Then you have the sun and then you have the moon, right? But it all line communicates to its rainbow activation, to its new clocking, right? So Aquarium, yeah. Well, I'm just saying we're coming into the Piscean era, and like I said, everything through tractions and positions of the sun rotation and its radiation cycle have to be in all connections. They have to be in all one balance of a triangle position. Okay, that's the positions it's in right now, but this is what's happening right now. Okay, so. Okay, so we did a very powerful quiz yesterday with our school, which is really amazing. I gave you a question, you guys are giving me answers through the illustration. I thought that was pretty fascinating. All right, so bringing us into the fifth dimensional mind telepathy. Very good, Tina. Commander, does nature reset at night, or resetting at night is just a program for humanity? That's good. I like that. See, our programs are set through our communication through a thought recognition light system. If you're not open through tractions, you're not communicating with the sun, you're not communicating with the moon, and you're not communicating with the gravities of the earth, okay? Until you understand all three of line signals through triangle positions, now you're understanding the reset position of program setting, but it's all connected to a holographic of an illusion. Okay, it's all three perceptions, Scout Galactica, okay? But the nature definitely resets its position when it comes into the connection. Like right now, the sun is up. So when the sun goes down, the moon comes up, but it's all holographic. So actually the sun and the positions of the moon don't leave. It's just holographic evolution. It comes into the singularity lines of simulation. So it's just radiation of reflection, and it's reflected to you through perception, right? So it's all a program setting. Remember, we live 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, okay? Communication of the sun and communications of the moon and everything through the earth does not live in time zones. Okay, we are programmed otherwise because we live on time zones. Okay, like I said, with London or UK, it's 6 hours ahead. I'm in Mexico, 6 hours behind. Okay, now that's human evolution through DNA. But when you're connecting through the mind, through the brain of a simulation, it doesn't connect. The only thing that connects is you through connection of one line signal to everything through traction. And that's how you get everything through thought, through one question. All right, so let's go with this position. Okay, we're going to higher formation systems through calculation, through point locations. All right, so I'm going to set up another graphing system to positions. Put you in higher location, line communication. All right, so truly understanding what you're doing through positions, just understanding all your optical levels of this position. Okay, so it's interesting how we look at this. What is this? So when you look at something like this, you look at this, okay, I understand one program, but I don't understand this program, and I definitely don't understand this, and I'm not sure about this, and I don't know about this, right? So humanity has to get out of the reframing into a new adjusting system, to a new program setting, okay? So they'll come across, oh, this is a line, this is a box, this is a circle, this is kind of like coming out of the circle, and these are like 3 waving lines, and now there's like a back phrasing line, and this looks like an 8 with a line signal. Okay, so because I'm in a high division, it doesn't matter, but it's pretty hard for me to understand what's going on in a 3-dimensional system because none of these are in the 3-dimensional system. So it's understanding your communication comes from the line signal. Your communications comes from this box. So you can center positions to anything position. So you can change this position to this position, but you have to line signal everything through traction of one thought. Okay, it's resetting location positions, right? So you don't want to get confused with the mind system because you don't know if you're interacting with light or if you're connecting with dark interference. It's all connected to you, right? So if you're traveling through different atmospheres, you're going through different energy patterns, through dark resonance to anything humanity. Walking the surface to anything through structured buildings and all that can be dark. So you understand the behavioral systems of dark through its structure, through its ancestry and its history, okay? So this is one line signal to a box frequency level. Okay, there's circle rotation of 3 element realm locations of its disappearing location of its line signal. Everything through the gratitude levels of its 8 rotation center to its circle rotation system. The allocated positions of line communications point to divisions of north and south through its circle rotation energy field to its position of its planet location. That's what all this is in one line signal. Okay, so you don't want to get confused with your thoughts. Okay, humanity has to get out of that. This is my telepathy. So it's my telepathy from one line signal to a box. Or you can reverse the cycle. You're still going forward. You're not going back. Okay, so I can say box frequency level. Okay, I can go this way, or I can go this way. Okay, so you have to know how to go back, and you have to understand how to go forward, right? So I can go box frequency level, okay, to a line communication, line signal, to an 8 rotation center, to a circle rotation system, to a planet position of a line signal, to 2-point level connections energy field, to its circle rotation of line communication solar graph through its activation light system. So you can go this way, or you can go this way, doesn't matter. Or you can go here and go this way, right? But each time you go around, you're using one thought to all these in all connections. You're not understanding communications because you're trying to understand what this is, and this is, and this is. It takes too much time, way too much time. So the brainwavy pattern is telling you exactly what's going on with the line communication and how it interacts with all positions to its direction. Okay, you can go this way, or you can go this way. One way or the other way, doesn't matter. You can use this, or this, but it's all line signal through one thought, and it travels so fast. And you go back to center. That's it, it's done. So that's why your commander does these things in space, because, you know, I don't get confused when it comes to space and time. But you have to understand the operation centers, right, to its position. It's going through confusing line signals. So put yourself in those connections. You understand more of your behavioral system through its point location. So, but your position is truly understanding what's happening with your body frame of emotion. That's the positions I want to get into. Okay, so. But do you have any more questions on that? Anything regarding the equinox, anything about the sun, anything about the moon or the earth, let me know. So sun and the moon are coming into alignment through spring equinox, changing humanity's behavioral systems, bringing us into the Piscean era. Bingo. Very good, Tina. Very basic, very basic. So this is interesting. Tina's connecting to the sun. She's connecting to the moon, but she started with the sun. She didn't start with the moon, okay? So it doesn't matter where you connect with through line communication or one line signal. It's your atom rotation or molecule structure that's connecting to its position, right? So you'd be connecting to the equinox. So if you're connecting with the equinox, as long as you understand you don't go through confusing line signals, as long as it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make any sense, you're going into the matrix, a position of backphrasing line communication signals. So you don't want to do that either, right? So either way, you have to understand the balance of its position, because you always come back to the center position of you through its triangle positions, right? So Tina's saying the sun and the moon are coming into alignment, flowing. The spring equinox is changing humanity behavioral systems and bringing in the Piscean era. That's more future, presence to future, right? That's where Tina's connecting, right? So Tina can also say, well, the spring equinox is changing humanity behavioral systems through the Piscean era through its connection of the sun and the moon. Done. Same thing again. I did it a back force, but it's a forward. So don't get confused with the mind system. Don't understand. You have to understand this connection. You don't understand that connection. So don't confuse the mind system. I'm just giving you an example. Because if you're confusing the mind system, you're not going through line communication of balance through its position of present to its future. You're voluming all your connections. You're getting your confusing with your dream sets, your positions of your community, and everything through your behavioral system, and everything that's happening with your kids. Okay, so everything that you do should be line balance, and then back into position of travel. And that's where you don't get confused. So it doesn't matter how you do it, backward or forward, as long as you understand you're always going forward in the presence. So your line communication is the presence. Okay. The end recycle, okay, is its cycle rotation to its center position, which brings you forward in its location. I know it's getting confusing, right? It's not confusing to me, but it might be confusing to you. So yeah, it's kind of like that, Angel. Yeah, it's in between magnets. Yeah, you get one magnet, you get a piece of paper, you get another magnet, and they follow, right? See, so it's all about, getting communications from one magnet, and you got the paper in the middle, and you got another magnet. So it's all the communications that are going up. It's going like this, right? So if the magnet is going over here and you're over here, there's confusion. So you have to have the magnet here and the magnet here, and they have to go the same. They have to follow the same, right? Same with the lights, thoughts in your body. All travel one position. Okay? So you can go lacing line graphing positions to planet positions of locations, through center locations, through line division, through activation, through its equinox location, to its sun, to its moon, and everything through program sediment, its earth. The triangle location and its angle location is changing everything through the color, through body activation light system. This is changing your behavioral system through your receptor locations, through your interface, and everything through program sediment in your mind system. All line communication, one center through one thought, guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's what humanity has to get into. The telepathy of your activations of lights, program settings of your bodies, and everything's going on with your dream sets. Okay, you don't want to confuse the mind system. You have a dream. What does it mean? Oh, I don't know. I deciphered it, but I don't understand it. You're not communicating through balance of your lines. You're all connected through a line. It's laser. It's recognizing you, but you're not recognizing it. Okay? If the universe is recognizing you and you don't recognize the universe operation, there's a problem with your line signals of communication, right? You have no problem talking on the phone with somebody, right? You understand the line communication. Sometimes you go into hesitation. That's spotting location of lines. Travel, stop, travel, stop, travel, stop. Yeah. Kaleidoscope. Very good, Angel. Yeah. So the kaleidoscope and anything that connects. So it's mirror resolution system. So it's kind of like seeing basically you don't see it until you see it. You don't see it until you see it, right? That's the position you got to get yourself into. So if you're coming across something that's high your divorcing connections, right? It's trying to read your patterns, reading your pattern location positions. You're in triangle location positions. You're in the wrong universal line system. Go back to your commander, please. So you're not supposed to be in that position, because your body activation doesn't understand the line signals of travel through its present of its future, guys. Okay, so you get higher entity force systems of dark. Okay, so it's just higher formations of intelligence, of vibration to its universe. The universe has so many simulations of graphs. It has so many vortex locations of travel. It has so many positions of shapes anomalies through letters and numbers. Okay, if you don't understand the communications of Vega, it's going to put a reacting cycle in your body, especially when you're intelligence. Okay, because you're not waving to its system. You're ignoring its system. You can't do that through traction. So when you do that, I'm not going to bother with it. You're going to get headaches. Okay. You're going to get palpitations of the heart. Your legs are going to start to flap. They're going to start to twitch. Okay. You're going to get eye interference of sore recognitions of fire into your eye locations. Why are my eyes so hot? Why do they feel so hot, right? I have to go to the doctors. Because you don't know what's going on with space and time, it's trying to understand your positions of where you're going through your triangle positions of line communication of your thoughts. You recognize your thoughts every single day when you go through your behavioral system. That's space and that's time and position. Universal system understands the behavioral system, everything connects to the sun radiation, everything through the moon program setting, everything through the earth of its rotation. Because humanity lives on the earth. So they have to understand everything through telepathy, right? Through line communication, through line division to anything position. This is a phone reception location position. It's interfacing right now with its copy. That's communication of balance, guys. So line signal to the phone, line signal to the cup. But how did it get there? Right? E equals MC squared. I understand the energy of its thought and what it's doing through travel. Right? Goes back, right? You always have to go back to center. You can't allow yourself to be in the future. You got to put yourself back in the center because you're on the earth. So it's confusing to the mind system if you don't understand your positions. Your positions are everything through traction. Okay? We healed ourselves. It works. Yep. But you have to understand the radiation. You have to understand the sun rotations. You understand the pulping levels of your connections to your heart. You have to understand the portals. You have to understand your codes and your references of your code frequencies. You have to understand triangle positions of the moon, its program setting. You have to understand your reception locations when it comes to the earth, of telepathy system. So the first thing you understand, to heal anything through your body, you have to understand your balance of your thoughts. Okay? You can't heal anything until you understand your light. You have to understand light, what light is, because that's everything inside your body. Okay, and when I healed Nick in that back phrasing video yesterday, I put my hand on his shoulder and everything was lighting up. So I was interfacing with the sun of the radiation and it's interfering the connections of the moon and everything through the earth, which is gravity. So everything has its connection of balance. As long as you understand your thoughts have to be in balance of center every single time, because if you don't come back in center, it confuses the mind and the brain. And the positions of the body will have fallouts into the wire circuit levels of its separation. And that's the problem with humanity right now when it comes to the species levels of telepathy. So it's knowing that, I know what you just said. That's interesting. I was just going to say that. So you're communicating through line signal. You know exactly what that person is going to say before they say it. That's telepathy. That's precognition. Okay, everybody has ESP, okay, external sensory perception. Now, we understand that. That's how it works. Yeah. But see, the thing is, do you have confidence in yourself to heal? Do you understand your body activation of travel? Do you understand your thought recognition of center? Do you understand your chakra system of communication? Do you understand your travel recognitions? Do you understand the earth? Because you live on it. Do you understand the sun and the radiation? Do you understand the time of its clocking? Do you understand the moon of its program, of its behavioral system? Do you understand the astrology? Do you understand the birthing system of your clocking to your birthday? How powerful your birthday is? Where does it reside on? How is it connected to my life system? Knowing is intentionally. Yep. Very good. For example, backphrasing communication when I was talking to Desi Kadra, she was going through transformation. I was putting her through so many levels of upgrading cycles, getting her connections. And she was talking about where this is when we were forming through the Galactic School. And she came across, I had a sore neck, so I just wanted to heal my neck. So she had balanced location of position. She had center position of her chakra location. And the energy went in and it healed her neck. I say, whoa, that's powerful stuff. So understanding where the energy is going, that's the position of center, guys. So if you don't understand the center position, the healing is going to go in its wrong traction position. Okay. So if you want to heal the heart, but it goes in its wrong position, it's because your portal of your heart is not open through its recognition. So your heart isn't recognizing you through vibration. Okay. So save yourself. That's how we change the world. Yes, I do. Very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I love you guys too. I mean, it's great. You know, I say guys in retrospect, and people a lot say that, but I'd say males, females, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, it's kind of like a formation of togetherness, a unity of one. That's the true understanding. What is the awakening? The awakening is positions of the heart. So the heart has to recognize you through thoughts of travel. That's very powerful, guys. The heart has to recognize you through thoughts of travel. Okay, so if you want to heal anything, you have to understand your positions through connections of space and time. When energy goes in, are you doing it the right way or the wrong way? Okay. Now you understand the positions of time in your body. Okay, and then you understand the positions of where the moon is in position. Because the moon could be surfacing in the oceanics, it could be in the Arctic system, and here you go in healing through connections, and you're getting cold fronts of electronic interference. So you didn't heal your heart system. You open up the cycle rotation, you put the heart in a cold front system. So understanding triangle locations of dimensions to your sending location. It gets complicated if you don't understand your communication, your body system through its framing. So yeah, I was told my higher self, don't start any healing modalities if you're not sure what you're doing. But see, that's it, Galactica. That's a good point. See, the thing is too, is that you're not a higher self. You're confused through the line signal, balance through positions. Okay. You're not an avatar. Okay. You're a computer. Okay. So you have to understand your travels of 90 positions. That's the levels you guys are at. Right. So if you think you're in your higher self, you're not connecting through balance of position, and that's going to have troubles with your healing. Remember, your intelligence has to understand its position right now. You're living the fifth dimensional system, but your positions have to understand the center position. I'm everything through form of gods of lights, ascensions, and everything through demigods. I know who I am through position. And that's how I'm able to understand everything through healing, through the wired location of my body framing. Now, if Galactica says that she's a higher self, she's not connecting through line signals of space. She's connecting through line signals as computers, right? That's the confusion. That's the confusion, right? We are computers. We are intelligence. Yeah, but see, you're not the higher self. There's higher self, avatar. You don't want to get confused through line of adaptations of programs through upgrading cycles. Okay, you started off as a higher self. Then you go into your avatar. Your avatar is trying to understand everything through the waving cycle of your computers. You come into your computers, okay, to your connections of your energy, and then you go into atoms, and then you go into molecule structures of travel. Those are the positions that you have to understand the center position. So every time you triangle location to a thought, you have to go back into position of center when you finish, okay? If you don't do that, you're going through confusing line signal through your body of its vibration. Okay. So been crazy good around here and more on the way. Yeah. Yeah. Your energy through energy of everything through form. What is energy? That's another one you got to look at. What is energy? Energy is everything through traction position. Energy is everything through fractions. Energy is everything through refocus to focus. Okay. So energy is everything to your body. So your body has to know the space of you and the time of travel of you. We don't want to get into convulsions and conflictions of anything through deharmonizing two connections, guys. Especially now, because all this chaos is just going to get more corruption if you don't understand your thoughts of travel, of healing. Okay? So everything is an experience that you go through, an expansion. Okay? You're exploring yourself. You're going through experiments of yourself. You are intelligent, but where are you, intelligence of space and time? Okay. Now, when I say higher self, avatar, computer, anything through energy, atom, or anything through molecule structure, it's just vibration. You're just reaching higher levels of universe. okay, through vortex, anything through travel positions. Your clocking, understand your clocks and your positions of your clocks, your travels of your phone through connections. You bring it up close, see that? It's traveling, see? See how it's traveling? See that white dot? You look closer, see its solar flare? See aligned signals? It's traveling. See? It's traveling. It's always in center position. My thought recognition light system knows exactly what it's doing through travel positions. So that's where you guys have to understand you're on the other side of position when you travel through your thoughts. You can't create your thoughts and be in the human essence of its physical system, the gravity system, because you're confusing the intelligence of line signals through its position. So yeah, what you ping, you bring. I love your vocabulary, Angel. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, it is a formation, yeah, but as long as you understand what GOD stands for, it's the geometry of you through operation of dimensions. Okay, that's the wind cycling. That's the birthing system of universe through vibration. Okay, so you're everything through connection. It's just humanity really has to stand the telepathy system of thoughts of travel. Okay, travel is everything to that position. Because anything you frame system comes up to calculation modification. Right? See that? There's always a line signal. See that? See that white dot? Travels. See? So understanding where it's coming from. See that solar flares? I put that up. See that? See a light signal? See the planet position? See the solar flare connection? Right? Now it's brighter, isn't it? It's brighter. You can't see outside. It's extremely bright, right? Okay. So you get a blackboard communication. So this is moon bees, right? Moon base through its connection of its moonbeams through its connection to sun interference. And it's connected to the psychometry of my body system through all connections. So when I connect through my thoughts, it's always back in balance because I always center myself because I'm on the earth. A lot of people forget their thoughts and they forget they're on the earth. Okay, so you can't allow yourself to see that because that's a defeating purpose. You're defeating everything through its anomaly, right? So it's complicated if you don't understand what GOD is. Everybody's in that formation, but you can't confuse yourself through your thoughts of travel, right? So once you get balanced with everything's information of energy, then you become everything through GOD. Rainbow orbs, yeah. What is a rainbow orb? How is it connected to you? Everything is connected to you through inside you. So what is a rainbow orb? How does it identify you through perception? How do you see it through ear interference? How do you see it through the mind program? How do you understand it through the voicing grid? What is a rainbow orb to you? Because everybody's on a different DNA path. Everybody's on a different journey. And I think it's so fascinating. Humanity has to understand how powerful we are through the mind system. And people forget that. And that's why they go through so much confusion through their thoughts. You know, they look at so many ethical levels and just not focus on what's going inside them. They forget that. It's all the communication within. So you want to communicate with space and time, you have to communicate within. That's the travel. But your thoughts have to understand the travel of space. Okay? You can't center positions and tell something that's a lie into space connection because you're going to get a reaction. Say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Especially if you're connecting to higher formations into your chakra system. The more you go into higher positions in your chakras, if you come out of your 12 rotation centers, you're coming into the tesseract of its matrix. If you go past that and through the matrix, you're going into higher levels of vibration to its quantum fields. So you get a little bit more understanding what vibration is. Okay. If you understand the balance of its vibration, you go into higher levels of simulation to its graphing position, which is its singularly aligned divisions. Okay. Especially now because the Earth is in the simulation. It's in its graphing position. It's coming into a new digital frame. Okay. And once we get the sun, and once we get everything through the moon and everything through the Earth in the center position of triangles and a new clocking of dimensions, we come into the equinox. of the Piscean era. Okay. So. But I'm loving your questions. It's going to go back here. It's basically, I think the best advice I can give to everybody is that, do you trust yourself enough inside you to know what you're doing through your thoughts of travel? So if you understand the space of you, but you don't understand the travel, that's the confusion. So you have to understand the space and the travel of you through thought of one's center. That's the position of healing. Okay. So, and the thing is too, it all has to be right through codes. If you want to heal yourself, it has to be through the right code. But you have to trust yourself with inside. So that takes a while. You have to send the communication of your 12 chakras, 7 and then 5 within the atmosphere first, right? Okay. The central system allows us to use our 12 central systems. Those are communications to higher interconnections of vibration, guys. Your chakras are connected to you for that through thoughts. So understanding what is the gravity system of me, okay? What is the root chakra of me through balance and security? It's all connected to your life system. Okay, the sacral, the creative center, the intimate cycle, okay? Everything through the solar plex, the power centers, everything through your connections of your heart, your throat, your clarity vision, okay? Balance, thought, back into position, right? So when that goes back into position, healing comes in and it goes into the right location. It doesn't go into the wrong location. And that's what humanity has to understand, because if you heal yourself, but it doesn't go in its right line communication of balance, it's not going to force rise to its position of future, to its connection of its healing. So when you heal yourself, you're going into the future. And that's why it's so powerful, is because the rewinder and everything through its wire connections going into its back force, right? It's like it never happened. So it's repositioning your whole wires in your body, and it's putting you back into a new coloration, into a new body of its vibration. Okay. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, orb is a portal. It's the rays of keys. Very good. Thoughts on Pegasus constellation. Now, is that balance? Does Angel trust that balance of thought? Thoughts on Pegasus constellation. So she's questioning that. So she's questioning her travel through that position. So she can't travel to that position until she understands the truth within. And that's the connection to its tree format, right? So the more you high rise through your tree, the more it branches out, okay? And the more it blooms, okay? Be it to see it, yeah. Yeah. So you trust your thoughts, but you're not sure about your travel, okay? So you trust your space, but you're not sure about your body. So that's the confusion right there through separation. Okay. But thoughts on Pegasus is everything through a constellation. The constellation is everything through the graph when it comes into Orion's belt. It's all connected to line signal through a map location position. You understand what space is through position because it has so many different angle points. There's a reason why the constellation is like this. Okay. There's a reason why we have solar system like this. Okay. You understand the operation of vibration. And this is all connected to the center position because it all comes back to you, to the Earth system, guys. Okay. So just brought into awareness yesterday. Yeah. So she's aware, okay, through her body, through activation and her chakra system, but she's questioning the travel position. Thoughts of Pegasus constellation. What is that? What does that mean? That came to me. So if that comes to you, you understand the travel of its thought. So once you understand the travel of its thought and you trust yourself, the heart never lies. It always, always tells the truth. It opens up more. Boom, 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 boom. Every time it opens up, your tree opens up more. So you're starting to understand more operations of space and time through its position of thought, through its direction of its balance, through its position of its connection. Okay? But as long as you understand the awareness and where it's coming from, you won't have a problem. And then you can travel through recognition. But you have to understand what thoughts are connected to Pegasus of its constellation. Okay. We are the rehab, quit drinking. So been staying grounded last couple. There you go. So that's it. So she's going into those divisions. She's understanding more of her thought recognition system. But look how powerful it is, the connection, right? It connects right away to my body frame. And then you got a solar graph of a solar energy system graphing position. Okay, and the light flares. See that? It's like a plasma. So it's a plasma wall through reflection of the sun. Okay. It's all balanced, but I come back in position, right? Because I'm on the earth, right? But my mind and the brain is in the simulation. So let's not get confused with that. So the traveling position is so fast and back in the center, and I give you the information. That's why it's so powerful, because now it's in its collaboration, okay, through its placebo and its cortex, through its spine of its activation, through its repeaters. Okay, so you have to understand the transmitting and receiving, transmitting, receiving. What goes up comes down, right? So you have to understand the transmitting of energy through its laser recognition of the chakra system of communication, and you have to understand the receiving of what goes on through its energy cycle of its rotation, because it automatically goes into the chakra system of communication, right? So let's just say I want to communicate with the earth. Okay, so I want to communicate with the earth grounds that communication through location positions to my graphing location. Okay, so energy goes in and circles and rotates. So the earth is showing me what it's doing through rotation. So that's what I asked. So it's all about not hesitating through your thoughts. Okay, so everything can be healing, or everything can be an answer through a question. But as long as you understand your questions, you get the answers. Okay, and that's what's fascinating. You can have anything you want through manifestation, but you have to understand the operation of vibration, guys, through your body, because your body is traveling through different levels. Okay, different levels of realms, different levels of galaxies, different realms of cosmos. Okay, just going into the cosmos. Okay, the cosmic level. Imagine that. Traveling so far into position. And then you come back with its information. Information is everything through vibration. So your vibration is reading its pattern of its position. Okay. The energies hitting planet are intense. We can see them along with transmute. Yeah, they are extremely intense, because now you're coming in and out of the Aquarian and coming into the Piscean. Okay. So you guys are going to go through more behavioral patterns, disruption signals, operation line signals, deception line communication, separation to the body frame, chakra rotation centers, back phrasing locations. So it's all about the moon of its base, and everything through its moonbeam is truly understand your behavioral system of time through travel. Okay, so humanity has to get into the telepathy. Regardless, they're going to go into the telepathy of singularity line division. They have to go into the simulation, because the earth is in the simulation. Okay, so we can't have fallouts with the earth and have fallouts with the humanity if they don't understand what's going on with their positions of triangles or anything of that connection, because you're all connected to GOD with this geometry. It's geometrics to its division through GPS locations. So we have seen real, Naja. It hasn't pretend. We are creators. We do better. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, too, you're co-creation to everything through creation. But it's truly understand the operations of the universe to your travel of its thoughts. That's all it is. And that's how you manifest things. Okay. So I recommend you guys more exploring yourself inside. Get into the experience of thoughts if you want to travel to location. So if I want to communicate with the balance of my security, I know it's my root, right? So it's the bottom of the tree, right? So the tree understands once it's fully grown, That's where you get balance with everything through line communication, everything through space and time, right? So it's less easier on the mind and the brain, and then you don't hear any pounding on the head. You get migraines. What is a migraine? Oh, those are two conceptual planets. They're just that's how powerful space is. Humanity doesn't understand that. So what you're saying, I have two planets that are colliding with the other through energy fields? I say, yeah. That's what a migraine is. Okay. So understanding what space is through the operation is understanding the true operations through your thoughts of travel to its position. Okay. So, like, go into the inside of you, really get to the truth. The truth. Like, if I want to communicate with, my thought recognition light system is on a little bit off location through wire location. I want to center its location to its thoughts and put a higher clarity vision into the voice and grid pattern. Okay, so energy goes in, it's communicated to the center position. I bring myself back in the center because I'm in the earth. I don't allow myself to be in the past or in the future because the presence is here and now. That's where the healing comes in. So my throat is now in balanced location to its wires of its clarity vision. Okay. It's confusing to the mind system, but you understand you're communicating through your intelligence. Okay, not the physical system. You're communicating through your intelligence of wires and electronic divisions, energy fields, E-fields, optical levels of chakra system, communication, line communication, point communication, angle point communication, electronic interference communication, point location of line communication through adrolysis to its connection of its placebo through its cortex, through dream set location. Everything is balanced through position as long as you come back to the center position of communication, which is the here and now. Okay, no headaches. Oh, that's good. No, I just letting you know why you guys get headaches, why you get migraines. It's all connected through space and time. Okay, it's all reaction to the body, a vibration of you. You're reacting to your thoughts. You create your thoughts of negative, and you got negative force and you got positive force. Which side of the coin do you want to live on? I mean, you can live on both sides, but you have to know both sides. You can't just know one side and not the other, right? You flip it over. Okay, it's not a two-headed coin. That's cheating the system, right? You have to have a head and a tail. But where's the body? So there's a lot of confusion there. So with the quarter, you only have the heads and the tails. So you got one side that's good, and you have the other side. So you flip it over. So you want one side of the realm, and other side of the realm. But what about the center? Where's the center? Center's not there, right? It's a 25-cent coin, right? Or a peso. But truly understanding, that's the biggest thing, is you have to understand your conception of your mind. Your body can't be separated through its thoughts of recognition, because it's not going to understand its location to its separation. And the separation is always going to go, it's forming. And you're going to go through stop and go through travel through line signals. Travel, stop, travel, stop, travel, stop. Pause. Over here, over here, over here, over here. Right? So you got to get back over here. You can't jump frames, right? That's another thing. So you're going back into the past. So now you're way off base. So now you're really confused in the mind, right? Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you have coffee with your sugar, but you put salt in instead. That's confusing. So you're not balanced in position when you're waking up, right? You're changing the rhythm. You're changing the vibration. So instead of putting sugar in your coffee, you're putting salt. Okay, that's confusion. So, healed woman issues took my body, mind, and soul to counseling. Was instant healing. Well, as long as you trust the factor of that angel, truly understanding, where this woman is coming from, because there's not too many people that are in the galactic system. Okay, my calculations through that formation is we only have one rebellion alliance, but there's a lot of galactic federation light, but there's only one council. Okay, so those are the levels you have to understand when you're connected to healing There's a lot of partitions, a lot of healing, but there's a lot of scam out there. See, the thing is too, is they're not aware of what they're doing. If you're not aware of your body of travel through thought. You ask any monk, they'll tell you exactly what you need to do to understand what healing is. It goes way, way back to its ancient times of the pharaohs and the meridians and thought. You understand the creation of the chakra system, right? yeah, it can be deceitful sometimes. Yeah, but it's all good humor, right? It's all good humor. But you also can have reactions to your structure, location of your face, and you can have reactions to your body. Okay, so you're basically from head to toe, your body has to be balanced every single time through communication of a thought. Okay, if your lower frame is off, but your center frame is on, but your higher frame is off, you're not connecting through anything. You'll travel. So don't travel into space and time because you're going to confuse the operation of the universe and you're going to create a dark anomaly. You don't want to do that. Okay. Just going back here to your questions. Whistling is good too. Whistling helps breathing. I love whistling. But the thing is too, if you feel like breathing, just breathe. You know, you have to breathe, right? But when you're breathing, you have to understand the breathing. It's like, why am I breathing? It's letting everything out, right? It's letting all that negative system out. It's letting the energy flow through your body, right? So you can change the rhythm. Right? So you can go high tone, medium tone, or low tone, right? So it all depends the space that you have inside you. So when you come at full light of everything through gods of lights and everything through creation of, you know, universal systems, creation of planet positions or anything through demigod positions to sanction locations, you get a sacred breath. And that sacred breath provides everything through the cosmic elixir, causes everything through the snake rotations. So it's fire. It connects to the waving cycles, to its pyramid activation of its laser recognition, understand the cosmic universe system, understanding all connections. So it's understanding to take the elixir, the cosmic flame, cosmic fire to its position and where you want to travel to its location of its numbers. Because it's all digital frames when it comes out of your mouth. It's sacred flame, right? Space inside you flows, right? Sounds like laser, right? Laser connection, flow. Everything flows through balance, right? My thoughts are already there out of its equation, right? There's no hesitation in the mind because the universe knows what it's doing. If the universe and everything through the case didn't know what it was doing, right, there'd be a problem with the earth and vibration through its gravitational pull, and it'll affect everything through planets and solar systems. So you understand that universe knows exactly what it's doing. It's mysterious and it's unexpected. The unexpected gives you the manifestations. Okay, thinking too much, you're going to get it. You're not going to get it. Okay, the reason why you're not going to get it is because you're confusing the universe of its vibration. All right. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to get to the right position, the right location, the right direction of all levels of your forming through your body activation, of your communications, of your chakra systems. Okay. So really understand the research of your 12 and what does it mean to you? Okay. You have to understand that before you travel. And it's all connected to the one line signal of one thought. Right? So that's how your commander is able to so fast and come back to center. Right? It's travel. Was giving self-Reiki treatment adjustments meditation. I felt I saw the pain lift as soon as my body forgave my soul and my mind. What was gold warm glow each area of the body as I apologized and made the switch. Intentions was instant. Been toxin as well. Shifting, feeling much better. Yeah. Okay, that's good. But you don't want to rise your locations to your proactive systems through your programmers or anything that connection of vibrational system, Angel. So put yourself in position of travel through balance to your position of travel through your thoughts. Because if you try to go to higher levels of vibration, you're going to get intercepting locations of reactions to your brain location. And it's not going to understand its portal of its sentience. Okay, you're all connected, you're sentient, right? You're very powerful entity forces in the Rebellion Alliance. But if you trust your thoughts, if you trust your mind and your brain of your thoughts, and you trust everything through all connection of your soul is identifying. Let's get that straight. It's identifying everything through vibration. It's quantum fields. Okay. The heart is recognizing you through portal. Okay. Through transmission light. Third eye. Okay. The eye of the lamp. Where does it come from? Everything comes from its connection of its Egypt. Egypt is its form of communication. Understand the chakra systems. That's why I connected to the pharaohs and the meridians. Okay. They created the chakra system. I created the simulation of chakras through modulations. So truly understanding who you are is very powerful, because the more you high rise, the more you see yourself through your fruitions of light. Okay? Because there's so many variations and colorations of light. Your light is nothing but a chakra of communication, of travel. But your thoughts have to understand what's going on. Okay? That alone puts you in a better position of who you are through calculation. Okay? So it modifies all those levels, guys, right? Once you get into that, then you come into higher formations of E equals MC squared, right? Okay. We did this yesterday. E equals MC squared. E equals mass velocity, mass teleportation, mass simulation. So what is E through connections of thoughts of activation? Where's the framing system through my body activation of separation? Where's the mass of everything through its velocity? Where's the mass of everything through teleportation? And where's the mass of everything through simulation? But I know my E equals MC squared. So everything I give you is never confusion. Okay? It's confusing to you because you're not understanding your intelligence of its balance, through its position, of its travel, through its location, through its activation. Okay? So we are walking on a tightrope like a ballerina. We have smooth sailing, feeling wonderful. Yeah. It's like you're on that tightrope and you're going across, right? And you're trying to balance it out, right? So you have to have a long pole, right? Just to balance it out. So you're flying this way, you're flying that way. Okay. So basically it's all about smooth gliding. Okay, it's trying to force recognizing you through connection. So you're understanding more with recognition of its heart. You're understanding the mind program, okay, of its thought. And you're truly understanding more of the soul identification of where it's going through GPS location of travel. Okay, so it all starts with the mind, body, and soul, guys. That's meditation. Then you go through alter state levels. Okay, and then you come into the phenomena. Okay. So you go into the beta, you go into the theta, and then you neutralize your systems and the higher levels of connections, right? And you can go into so many modes. You can go into sleep mode, you can go into attraction mode, you can go in the automatic loads, communication, mobiles, exponential system. You can go through mobile, through electrical lights and everything through vibrational travel. So you have to understand yourself and where you are in space and time through its position. And I keep saying that, you're on the earth. So try to communicate with the earth, just for fun, just communicate with the earth, right? See if the earth is responding to you. And you'll know because you'll see it. You'll hear it and you feel it and you touch it. And you can even taste space. Taste what does space taste like? Imagine that. That's going beyond the senses. When you open up all your senses, everything through all external or anything through those connections of your energies, right, are intercepting all locations through your sensory perceptions, the external levels that you can reach, right, through becoming psychic. Everybody's psychic. Everybody is. It's just they forget. They forget who they are. That's the problem. So, yeah, I know. I'm just saying that, yeah, ballerinas, they have poise. They're very graceful. Yeah. No, I know they don't carry poles. But no, that's just in, a metaphorical view, that connection. But you ask yourself, do you feel like you're walking in a tightrope? If you understand the balance of that, you will be okay. But if you don't understand why you're on a tightrope, you're not going to fall yourself into the presence of its future, right? Because you're going to confuse yourself every time through thoughts. And you're going to keep putting salt in your coffee until you understand that you have to put it with sugar, right? Now, the thing is, too, when you sleep and you wake up and your tongue's not awake, it's like you're trying to talk and all this. So your mind collaboration is not waking up through thoughts of the clarity of your voice and everything's clarital and all that connections of its cardial and all that connection of its tubes. So your tongue is trying to wake up and your thoughts is trying to wake up and everything through the brain location is trying to wake up. So that's the connection, right? So once you fall out through that connection line system, you got to find yourself how to get back into balance position. Because now when I wake up, I go through computers. Okay, it's like, so I'm trying to wake up, but I automatically talk like that because my computer is trying to get back into position of fifth dimensional system because I travel so far and I'm doing things, simultaneously going back. So it's going back into position to my body facing system, to my chakra system, to my rotation center, to its earth of its fifth dimensional telepathy system, teleportation of energy transference, right? But it's incredible when we reach higher levels, our voices change. Especially when we're going through the adolescence years, our voice goes up and our voice goes down. So basically you're going through puberty, right? Males and females. So there's a lot of things that happen through adaptation through our thoughts of behavioral systems, guys. So I think the basic understanding is knowing what you're doing every day, right, with your thoughts. Okay, so whatever you create in your mind, you could have optical levels and keep it in the brainwave, and it'll just stay there through its archive. So now it's in its collective system, its planet position, and now you're going back to see what it is, right? So you're not going forward, you're going back and say, okay, I just connected a negative system. I didn't mean to say that, but I want to change the traction position back to balance. But as long as you come back to the center position of its earth, that's the most important thing. When you travel, you come back to the earth. You can't travel, send information, and stay there. So the more you understand through communication of vibration, if you get trapped in positions, you're separating your body of positions of acceleration through its mode systems. It gets complicated when you travel, it's really complicated. But the video that is sent below is very powerful. It tells you everything through dark, talks about light, talks about don't get your thoughts, confused of what you're doing, right? Don't confuse yourself because you confuse everything through community. You confuse everything through humanity, and you confuse everything through your manifestations, right? So you could be angry at the universe and saying, okay, well, I'm manifesting, but I'm not getting anything. You're not getting anything is because you're not communicating with intelligence. Then you're just communicating with aggression. You're suppressing yourself every single day. And you're asking yourself, why are you not getting these things? Right? Because you're not communicating with your thoughts within. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to do that. They've been communicating out. Right? So if I want to communicate through a wire signal to planet positions of the moon, Everything through the force connection line system is in balance through positions. Now the rebellion of his alliance is on the moon base right now through connection. You guys are on the moon right now. Right now, you're on the moon. Bang. See? Balance. So you guys are surfacing on the moon right now. So how does it feel being on the moon? That's a balance of communication, of thoughts, of travel through light's body and its connection. So, yeah, sometimes I growl because it's the line that comes out. Because I'm lying in the mystical system, right? So, so it's just behavioral change of vibration through your body frames. That's all it is. But other than that, I've got caught up with all your questions. If you want to go through my healing, you want to go through the optical levels, you want to go through my email, go through the consultations, I can help you and guide you and put you in a better position of who you are through your thoughts, attractions. So it's mostly the lights, the body, and everything through your thoughts is balance everything through your chakras of communication. Okay, because you're traveling every single day. If you don't realize you're traveling, you're not connecting to your intelligence. And this is what my galactic school provides. It opens up all your connections of you through your chakras of its senses. Right? You start with the 5, you go with 6, 7, and 8. Now, a lot of people say they have 8 senses, right? Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Like, they're saying they're this and they're saying they're that. That's misinformation, right? You explain to me how you got your 8 senses. What is an 8th sense? What is a 6th sense? Right? Psyche, right? What is a 7th? What is an 8th? What's a 9th? What is a 10th? You could be a 12th divisional level being. You could be a 14th divisional level creature of Reptilian Alliance. You can be modifications of a Tao. You could be a Reptilian Alliance through ground formation alliance signal. You could be a planet location to a plotting location. You can be an energy interference through connections of a gargoyle division. A gargoyle division lives in a swamp. Their connections to the ground formations to other planet positions. They're connected to the levels of Mars and everything connection of Mercury. So they line signal channels to positions of graphing positions of vibrations to other planet positions. So when I say intelligence through formation, it's just wire connections to higher forces of vibration, right? But it comes extremely real through intelligence, right? Through its connection. So Lions of Judah, Nauseous, move quick, yeah. Sisters of the Rose and Lions of Judah, yeah. Back formation line communications going in triangle locations back in the Earth rotation center off the moon base location position. Take everything through calculation to all levels of forming system, rebellion alliance, code frequency level, tango tango, rendezvous connection line system, 0 traction 0.7777, 2222, 1111, back information of the Earth of its crest and center position. Okay, so you guys are back on the Earth positions. So you're always floating above, but you have to send your position when you travel. Okay, your physical system stays unformed because it's its base. It needs its satellite. It needs its Wi-Fi. It needs its connection, right? So that's how you line signal to everything through direction, and you goes back in center, right? That's what it does every single time. That's why it's so powerful. Okay, because you're communicating with one line and traveling so far into the future. And you can see so many planet positions, and it can come back into position of the fifth dimensional system and telegraph the energy through its channel. And that's how I'm able to, travel through so many connection high receptor locations. Because my computer operating system, it forms on so many levels. So imagine this. You got one line signal of a molecule structure that travels through different locations of energies to all formations of its position of space and time through its recognition of lights. Okay. Yeah, moon is peaceful. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit on the cold front right now. So the oceanics, it's on the continent levels. That's why everybody's going through behavioral retraction positions. So your human essence and your connections through your sensory perceptions and everything through your impulses. You got your metrics of your perception lines, and everything through your energies is going through traction of different positions of your body frames. That's what's happening right now. Okay, so if you want to go through my healing, let me know. It's important you guys understand more of yourself through your travel of your thoughts. Light's in its body. That's all it is. That's all it is. And I keep saying that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You have to understand who you are. And that's the process of everything. And then you get a better understanding. Whoa, space. Whoa, time. Split division, yin and yang, flowing recognition, light system, understanding the travel of time, understanding the clock of time, understanding the recognition of time, understanding the linear of time, understanding how to stop time. Okay? And it's all connected to your thoughts of lights in its body. Body and its connection to its chakra. Lights and its communication of its travel. Okay? And everything through its thought of its creation, to its illustration, to its reality, to its activation of its program setting. Okay? So I think that's good. We had a really, really good class today. There's a lot of behavioral reset division levels in program setting. So if you guys want to be upgraded, let me know. If you can't understand the balance positions, because the moon is going to higher connections of your triangle location, of your heart rate connection, of your portal defense locations. Now, it's extremely complicated. My team will understand that, but everybody through the physical system and three-dimensional system, you understand your provisions through your acting cycles and everything through circle rotation of you, your circle rotation of the flow. Understand the flow, understand the recognition of the flow, understand the energy of its flow, understand the activation of its flow, understand the lights of its flow, understand the coloration, understand the communication of the chakra, understanding your thoughts, understanding time of your thoughts, understand the creation of your thoughts, understand the reality of your thoughts, understanding the dreams of your thoughts. See, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. But it's one line signal of one dimension to one location, to one position, to one activation, guys. And that's why space and time is everything through formation. Light. Okay. So you guys have a fantastic day. All right. Tomorrow we'll get more into connections. The moon is going to be the opposite cycle through connections. So it's all about positioning the triangles into position. All right. So it's all about getting all those circle rotation of dimensional clocks. The sun and everything from the moon and the earth have to come into position like this calculation, right? So it's kind of like, see that? See the background change? See the background change? Look how high that is. So what do you see in the center? What do you see in the center? Right? You see two triangles, right? In the center. The center is me through Earth. Light signal channels. You got two pyramids, right? So you got the moon beams, and you got the sun rotation, the clock and magnetic system, right? The triangle position. Okay, bring it back. See? See how it changes? That's how powerful it is. Understanding communication. Understanding communication. Right? It's understanding different travel of recognition lights to its position. Right? Understanding communication. All right? Interference. Information system, electronic interference through all connections of the weathers. Right? 4, 5 in the system, 6 in the activation. Right? Oh, you're extremely welcome, Dina. Dina, let me know if you have anybody else that wants to be healed. It's important that they get into the traction of their body frame, especially now because the moon is going through so many behavioral channels. So if you have anybody else that needs to be healed, let me know. Other than that, everybody have a fantastic day. This is your Premier Commander on the Universal Core System of communication through moon interface, location, position, sun interference, location, and earth rotation to the fifth dimensional system, telepathy system. Adios.